I've taken a few hits, but I'm okay.
Hey everyone, I just want to kind of go over how I did what my iteration of the Star Fox comm system is from the N64 game.
We have some defense, but not much, so be cautious. These rocks could take us out quickly if they hit us.
If we look over here in the Unity scene, I have 3 game objects. This is my test button here, so I can just fire it whenever. First, we'll talk about the text box. I just have some simple animations to fade this in. And if we were open to script, I have set a static variable or static instance of this. I've created a string where I put the sentence that I want to repeat out. In the awake function, I call this instance. In the start function, we start the text box equal to empty because we don't want the font to show up before the text box fades in. And then we come to our opening function, which we have a coroutine that holds the string, and the font size is because the text was spilling out of the actual text box itself, so I just lowered the font. Coming down to the coroutine here, we have a type line. This is actually, I think I got this from Bimo. He made a great video on how to do sliding text, and he explains this better than I will. Next, we have this square right here, and this is what holds all the animations for the fade-ins, right? Fade in, out, and then the characters. This script here controls which animation is playing. If we go to the main game object, right, you can see that I have used Unity events, and then here are all the audio files, and here's the audio source. So that's all the components on the actual game object itself. If we looked at the script, I went ahead and stripped it way down, just so it made more sense. So we'll start at the top here. I have all of my Unity events, then I have my audio clip, then I have my comm in and out sound effect, and then I have my actual audio source. In the awake function, we call the audio source, so it's a component of the script. The second thing that I do is I go to this comm setup function, and in here I have the audio source select the intro sound. I have it play, and then I have the animator fade in that fade in animation. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna jump down here to the start of the game, and I have a coroutine with a timer, and I'll explain that in a second, and then a comm setup, right? So I want, as soon as this gets called, I want the comm setup to happen, and I want this coroutine to start. Now, the comm setup takes about 2 full seconds. So when we go through this coroutine, I'm waiting till we get to the 2-second mark, and then I'm going to call the start dialog, so it starts bringing on the text. I'm going to bring up the sprite that talks, the animation sprite. I'm going to have it play the audio, or call the audio clip and then play the audio clip. I'm going to wait until 14 seconds, and then I'm going to call this cleanup. And after I do that, I'm going to get rid of the text. I'm going to have the audio clip fade or do the outro sound, right? You got to call it first and play it. And then I'm going to have it fade out.